Please subscribe, like, and share. It really helps us out. And of course, if you have any questions, comment below and we will answer you as soon as we can.
Today, we are going to be doing paper 1 of the IGCSE Economics exam. Before we start, exams are governed by rules. First rule, we have 45 minutes to complete the exam, and we have 30 questions to do. This means that we have, on average, 1.5 minutes per question. Some questions will take you much less than this, some a little more. If you have spent 1.5 minutes on a question, move on. It is much more important to complete as many questions as you can. Mark the question and come back to it later. The subconscious part of your brain will be working on this question as you complete other questions. Use a pencil to do this exam. If you make a mistake, it is easy to correct it. Use a mechanical pencil, as you will not have to sharpen it. Time is your enemy during this exam. That being said, let's get into it. We will be doing the May to June paper 11 from 2020. In this video, we will be covering the first 15 questions. The next video will be available soon. You can download the paper from a link in the description below.
First question. Number 1. What is an example of the purchase of a consumer good? A. A farm owner buys a television. B. A farm owner buys additional land. C. A farm owner buys fertilizer for their crops. D. A farm owner buys some farming equipment. B, C, and D are factors of production. The only one that is a consumer good is A. Buying a television. Question 2. What is the function of the factors of production in an economy? A. To make goods and services to fulfill wants and needs. B. To provide an even distribution of income. C. To provide tax income for the government. D. To reduce the existence of external costs. It is that good old wants and needs phrase. I hope your economics teacher has used this a lot. So, the answer is A. Question 3. The diagram shows a production possibility curve for an economy that can produce cotton and cars. The economy is at point Q. Okay, looks like a very standard PPC. There is improved technology that can only be used in the production of cars. How would this be represented on this diagram? A. By movement from Q to W. B. By movement from Q to X. C. By movement from Q to Y. D. By movement from Q to Z. Okay, an improvement in technology will typically move the curve for the PPC. So it is going to move from point Q to a point outside the current PPC. The technology can only be used for cars, so the point will move toward more cars. That only leaves one point. So the answer is B, by a movement from Q to X. Question 4. Which topic is included in microeconomics? A. Economic growth. B. Elasticity of demand. C. Inflation. D. The balance of payments. Well, only one of these is from microeconomics. A, C, and D are to do with macroeconomics. The answer is B. Elasticity of demand. Question 5. What aspect of demerit goods means they are overproduced? A. Clear product information. B. High external costs. C. High product taxes. D. Low customer demand. A feature of demerit goods is that they have high external costs. So, again, there is only one answer that makes sense. The answer is B. High external costs. Question 6. The diagram shows market demand and supply curves. To what extent is the market in disequilibrium at price P3? A. OQ1 to OQ2. B. OQ1 to OQ3. C. OQ2 to OQ4. D. OQ3 to OQ5. This we get from the graph. Look at price point P3, and move across. We see the answer is D. OQ3 to OQ5. Question 7. Lithium is an essential metal for the production of electric cars. Following a 10% increase in the price of lithium, supplies increased by 15%. This led to a 5% increase in the price of electric cars. What is the price elasticity of supply, PES, for lithium?
A. 0.33. B. 0.66. C. 1.50. D. 2.0.
PES is equal to percent change in quantity supplied divided by the percent change in price. In this case, there is a 15% increase in supply, divided by a 10% increase in price. So, the answer is C. 1.50. Question 8. The wage of labor in a firm increases. What is the most likely effect on the production process? A. Capital replaces labor immediately. B. Capital replaces labor in the long run. C. Labor replaces capital immediately. D. Labor replaces capital in the long run. Well, over time or in the long run, if wages for labor increase, firms will switch to capital. So the answer is B. Question 9. Which combination of influences would increase the level of borrowing by a household?
A. Becoming pensioners and a higher rate of inflation. B. Greater wealth and lower consumer confidence. C. Higher consumer confidence and a lower rate of interest. D. Higher rate of interest and greater availability of credit.
Well, if there is a low rate of interest, then people would rather spend than save. And higher consumer confidence will promote people to spend as well. So the answer will be C. The other options contain at least one thing that will reduce spending. Question 10. The graph shows women's wages as a percentage of men's wages in year 1 and year 2. Which statement is shown by the graph to be true?
A. Younger women earn more than older women. B. Women's wages remain about the same between the ages of 40 to 50. C. In year 2, all women were earning more than men. D. In year 2, women were earning a higher percentage of men's wages than in year 1.
Looking at the graph, there is only one result we can draw. In year 2, women were earning a higher percentage of men's wages than in year 1, or answer D for the other questions. The data is not presented. Question 11. People's income decreases. How is the proportion spent on food and leisure likely to change?
A. To decrease food and decrease leisure. B. To decrease food and increase leisure. C. To increase food and decrease leisure. D. To increase food and increase leisure.
Well, if people's income falls, then they will spend more on needs, and less on wants. Food is a need and leisure is a want. So the answer would be C, increase food and decrease leisure. Question 12. The table shows total fixed and total variable costs at different levels of output for a firm. At which level of output is the average total cost lowest?
A. Output 100 tons, total fixed cost $1,200, total variable cost $1,200. B. Output 200 tons, total fixed cost $1,200, total variable cost $2,000. C. Output 300 tons, total fixed cost $1,200, total variable cost $2,700. D. Output 400 tons, total fixed cost $1,200, total variable cost $3,600.
The total average cost is the total cost divided by the output. From the above examples, we can see D has an average cost of $12. This is the lowest average cost. Question 13. The following information refers to a firm producing shoes. At which level of output does the firm maximize profits?
A. The total output of pairs of shoes is 100, total cost $1,000, total revenue $1,300. B. The total output of pairs of shoes is 200, total cost $1,800, total revenue $2,200. C. The total output of pairs of shoes is 300, total cost $2,700, total revenue $3,000. D. The total output of pairs of shoes is 400, total cost $3,200, total revenue $3,400.
Profit is the total revenue minus the total costs. The quantity here is just to mislead you. The answer is B, where the firm makes $400 of profit. Question 14. What is most likely to lead to an improvement in labor productivity in an industry?
A. An increase in capital investment. B. An increase in income tax rates. C. An increase in the demand for the industry's product. D. An increase in the number of firms in the industry.
An increase in capital is likely to make labor more productive, as new technology or machines can be used. So the answer is A. Question 15. How is a government most likely to prevent the growth of monopolies?
A. By encouraging mergers in the private sector. B. By establishing nationalized industries. C. By promoting the benefits of economies of scale. D. By reducing barriers to entry into an industry.
The only one of these that will actually reduce the growth of monopolies is D, by reducing barriers to entry into an industry. Thank you for watching our video. Please like, subscribe and share. And comment below so we can clarify things for you.